Hello, everybody. And again, welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. My name again is JDavis. I'm the host of Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm also CEO of Mage LLC, management consulting firm in the Boston area, servicing clients in many places. Our next guest is Steve Patino, founder and CEO of Ales Grey. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Really excited to be on the show. When my team booked it, podcast has been really incredibly successful for our company, just getting the word out of what we create. And so happy to be here.
Well, then why don't we get into it? Tell us about Ales Grey.
Sure. So Ales Grey started basically on the idea of what if we can change manufacturing forever in the footwear space. I'm a global footwear expert for the last 30 years. I started in 1994. And I've manufactured all around the world. I've even lived in China. I know how to speak Chinese, Mandarin, to learn everything about manufacturing. And really what we learned is just how horrible and how toxic manufacturing is. And so this company is actually named after my son, Grayson Alessandro, to change the way that footwear is made forever. And so we're the only company that manufactures in the United States using algae-based materials and having a complete circular business model so that the shoes can be recycled after you're done with them. And what's really, really important, and more important to me firsthand, is that this product is also affordable. And so we service the front line, which is everyone that works in the medical, restaurant, hospitality, which represents 70 to 80% of the entire US workforce. And so my mother was a cleaning lady as I grew up. I was telling you a little bit earlier, I grew up in New York. And so I was that kid that would go with my mom when she was cleaning houses, and she never had the money to buy high quality footwear. And now I want to change that for everyone. So anyone that needs high quality, comfortable footwear, it's now accessible. And so that's what we do at Ales Grey.
Well, how are you doing manufacturing differently in the shoe industry? I know a little bit about the shoe industry. I've touched a lot of different businesses. So let's get into the specifics.
So the specifics is that typical manufacturing is 99% of all footwear is made in Asia. And it's centralized because of the supply chain. So you need all of the different components. It could be between 50 to 70 components and pieces that make up one shoe. What we use is through technology, through injection molding, which is what we're able to make the shoe with just one material. And our entire footwear is able to be made in less than 10 minutes with near zero water waste. So when you just look at it just at the efficiency level, it's one material versus 50 plus materials, right? So that's the second part of it. The other big part of it is really similar to the way that Tesla cars are built, in the sense that if you can decentralize manufacturing and manufacture locally through injection molding, you don't have to have centralized manufacturing in Asia. So you can make, our shoes are made with metal molds. And so you can move those molds around the world. And we have molds around the world to be able to manufacture locally. So that's the second. And then the third is, what if you were to have a company like ours that was sustainable, so that the material that's used already is prepared so that it could be recycled post-consumer? And so not only do you need a sustainable material, but you also need an actual business model that can then reverse logistic, have that in place so that you can actually have a circular model and recycle the shoes. And so it's actually completely different than what traditional manufacturing is, which is typically more linear, which is you buy the product, you wear the product, and then it goes into landfill for 1,000 years. Versus us, you can buy the product, wear the product locally, and then have it recycled. And so that to me is where the future of the world is basically not linear manufacturing, which is traditional, to a more modern circular business model.
Do you manufacture your own brands of shoes? Do you private label? Do you work for other manufacturers? I'm just trying to get a sense of that. And also, second question, I'll get it out of the way now. What types of shoes are you making?
Sure. So we manufacture for our own company. Ales Grey is our own company. We sell to the largest retailers in the country, like Nordstrom, REI in the outdoor space, Amazons of the world. And then in terms of the shoes, that we focus on non-slip shoes for the work industry. So I'll show you one of these shoes here too. So so it's super, super modern. It comes with non-slip treads on the bottom so that it's a lot better when you're working, whether in the restaurant or hospitality. It has visibility vents. And super lightweight, really, really comfortable. And because we have a supply chain made locally, we also invest into a higher quality ergonomic insole. So you actually physically have double the comfort than any of our competitors. And so we knew that, from working firsthand, when I was in college, I also worked in the restaurant industry. And so I knew what it is to be on my feet, for 8 to 10 hours. And a lot of times now what's happening in America is that a lot of people that work in the front line have to work 2 jobs. And so they're leaving one job, they're working 8, they're going to their second job, and they're working 12, 14, 16 hours on their feet. And as you know, as you get older, that really starts to hurt you, and it starts to hurt your back, it hurts your hips, and that could cause other serious illnesses if you have foot problems, whether it be circulation issues or gout. It becomes a lot more serious as you age. And so right now, there's not a high quality, comfortable solution. And so we wanted to create that.
So do you have patents or certain controls over your business that give you a competitive advantage?
We do. So it's proprietary in the sense of all of the molds are proprietary. So those are exclusive to us. And so it's very hard to duplicate and replicate.
So where's the business going? It seems like you have a competitive advantage. You have a nice retail base. Where are you going with this?
Yeah, so where we're going, ideally, we want to service the largest Fortune 500 companies. And so at a very, very high level, anybody that's working or standing on their feet, whether they work at a supermarket, a coffee shop, a fast food chain, and they need high quality, comfortable footwear, we can supply it to them. And so that's our goal, is to have everyone that needs comfortable shoes, that we can be that next future generation of work footwear. That's our goal.
So let's get a little bit into the Wayback Machine. How did you start the business? You've clearly come a long way, but I know people love the entrepreneurial story.
Yeah, so the way that I got into the industry, I started working for free for sneakers back in Queens, and that's how I started my career. After that, I was able to be very successful in that retail store. I then became the global director. I was headhunted by DC Shoes, and we were part of the team during the largest growth in the company's history. We grew over $1 billion in 5 years, and that changed my life forever. And from there, we were able to then look at that, see what it is to scale. And then I started my own footwear company after that, where we built that from zero to a multi-million-dollar company that's still in business still today. And so through those learnings and being a 2-time founder, really was about, how do I take these learnings, good and bad, right? Because you learn as an entrepreneur during that journey. It was like, okay, you can understand and learn how to scale a company, but what is your impact? And so as I was getting older in my life, when I was turning 40, my wife was pregnant with our son. And I just told her, I don't want to be a CEO that talks about all these other companies and referencing other companies that are doing this great in the world. But here I am saying that I want to be a change maker and not doing it. And so I kind of just looked at myself, in the mirror and said, look, if you want to create a company that's going to change the world, then you have to go out and do it. And so I was really inspired by companies like Honest Company from Jessica Alba and what she did there. I was really, really inspired by Patagonia. I've always loved what Dyson has done by using technology to change the way and solve human problems. And so that's really the evolution of me getting into the industry as a kid, starting for free for sneakers, to then being a global manufacturing expert, to then creating a purpose-driven impact model that can change the world, but be a really, really big business as well.
Well, good for you, Steve. And we've been speaking with Steve Patino, founder and CEO of Ales Grey. We're going to have you back again, Steve. We'd love to continue to feature you to entrepreneurs that we know and talk about different topics. If someone's looking for you in the company, how would they find you?
Sure, they can find me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active there. They could also go onto our website, Ales Grey. They can find us on TikTok. They can find us on Instagram, on all the socials. So that's easily to find there. And right now we're actually in our biggest sale of the year. So we have a promotion. We have shoes at 70% off and to 50% off. So my goal is really, this is, we're in really in a gratitude month of Thanksgiving. And so I want to make able to have like a high discount so that even if it's the first time you're purchasing our product, you really have an easy entry point. We want to make it really easy for people to buy our product in the beginning and then really start to build a community and a relationship.
Well, that's very nice. I hope my wife's not listening because she considers me a shoeaholic,
Okay.
or so she's put me on hold for buying shoes. So she says I have way too many. I'm the Imelda Marcos of management consultants. So
Well, Jeffrey, we'll fix that. We'll get you a free pair. That way, at least you get past that. You say, I didn't pay for them. They were a gift.
you're wonderful. I love it. Thank you very much. And I look forward to connecting with you, and we'll follow up with each other. It's a
Perfect.
great business. Congratulations. And remind everybody, this is Radio Entrepreneurs.